Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nick Blunden. I'm the president of the Business of Fashion. It is such a great pleasure to be here today in this wonderful city. So first and foremost, thank you so much for having me. Greatly enjoying this wonderful lunch, so thank you for that. Also greatly enjoyed Fashion in Style yesterday. So it's been a wonderful couple of days, and I'm very much looking forward to this conversation with Mr. Sunny Tan about positioning Hong Kong as a key player in the global fashion industry. Sunny, based on dinner last night, we have lots of things to talk about. But first, I wanted to ask you a sort of broad question to kind of give us a little bit of context. So, we talked about positioning Hong Kong as a fashion and cultural hub. Can you start by telling us a little bit about what characterizes Hong Kong in that context? Why that's such an interesting opportunity?
It's a great question, Nick. If we look at Hong Kong, let's say we rolled it back maybe 20, 30 years ago. We are truly the center of Asia. Think about it in terms of culture, in terms of finance, in terms of import-export trade. We do share a lot of character in that sense. Number two, Hong Kong used to be a British colony. And we had a very strong history and culture with the Western, or connecting to the Western community. That is very, very unique. I would say that the only one close to Hong Kong, it could be Singapore. But then I would say Hong Kong share a very unique blend of being Western, but also being Chinese. And of course, we are in the political way of saying it's really, we are facing the world, but behind us we have our motherland. So we have a big market behind us. So we have a very unique strength or characteristics of being the international cities in Asia. And then having this foundation, how do we carry that into our textile, garment, and fashion industry? I think we've been the international hub for textile and garment. But then how do we elevate that to reinforce this position in this new world, as well as how do we moving up the value chain of making Hong Kong with the textile and garment background and foundation, but moving on to as a fashion hub as well.
That makes total sense, and I love the way you linked it back to Hong Kong's history. Seems to me there's an opportunity for Hong Kong to play a really important role for the wider region, not just for Hong Kong itself. So can you talk a little bit about that relationship between Hong Kong and the region, the rest of the Asian region?
Yes. When I talk to a lot of our industry stakeholders, especially some maybe designers and some business people, what my observation at that time was, we have been too narrowly defining the role of Hong Kong. So people might say, oh, our market is too small. We don't have enough talents, for example. We don't have that many brands. But then when we look at Hong Kong has always been a hub doing big business, international business. We are not there to do only the domestic business of 7 million population. Even though we're 7 million, but we're talking about 40 million tourists, for example. So we're talking about big business all the time. We might misdiagnose our industry development by looking at Hong Kong as a standalone city. Number two, Hong Kong was being put up like an invisible border. Okay, so when we look at Hong Kong, we forgot that we should have a mobile talent movement. All the talents, designers, brands, they can come to Hong Kong. But we just always guarding, oh, we are the Hong Kong. So let me give you an example. When I go to New York, let's say, we see a designer, oh, you are a designer from in New York, designer in New York. Yes, but next question I might ask, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Los Angeles, I'm from London, I'm from Montreal, right? So Hong Kong should be a melting pot with all the fashion community having the presence in Hong Kong and to leverage its unique advantage.
I really like that. So from that perspective, do you see an opportunity for the Hong Kong Fashion Council to both be promoting and supporting local talent to go externally, as well as bringing external talent into Hong Kong and the wider region?
I would say Hong Kong Fashion Council, number one, thank you all for the support of Hong Kong Fashion Council because we just started almost just like 1 year ago. What we want to do is to serve our fashion and textile garment community as a connector in working with all other important organizations. For example, we have Fashion Designers Association, we have Textile Council, we have a community of retailer, shopping malls and properties, service providers. We want to be here to be the connector, to connect everybody so that we can make a difference. We are also the connector with the government, because government is very much supportive of developing Hong Kong into an international cultural hub, okay? So how do we leverage fashion to realize Hong Kong become an international cultural and creative hub? So fashion is, naturally we can think of, fashion can be a mean in making Hong Kong to be in that role. So now, Hong Kong Fashion Council, we are here to link global to local. So we want to bring a lot of international, for example, like the business of fashion into Hong Kong, but at the same time, we want to bring local to global. How do we bring talented designer? How do we bring events? And how do we bring all our news, our vision, our positioning into the international community through business of fashion as an example again? So I think we want to be the connector. Hong Kong Fashion Council can also be a connector in linking with Shanghai Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, for example, right? So these are the things that we would like to do. London, definitely, right? So I did not miss, it did not miss UK. So this is a vivid example of how do we perform certain international partnership. But not only that we do it for Hong Kong Fashion Council, we are the connector. So how do I link British Council General with a Fashion Summit, for example? And they also connected with Hong Kong TDC. So we are trying to function the international role in that sense.
It's hard to believe it's only been a year, given everything you've achieved. So congratulations on that. When you think about that role as a connector, clearly there's a lot of support from within the Hong Kong community and wider to make that happen. I mean, there's a lot to be done, but it must feel like you've got some momentum, you've got, you know, a supportive group of people to work with. Would that be fair?
Yes, in fact, it's not me. I would say that as I took on the role as a Legislative Council member, when I speak with a lot of ladies and gentlemen here, they all believe Hong Kong can get onto that role as Asia's fashion hub. They all want to be very supportive, but then I think we are lacking certain coordination to realize what we believe in. So as we put ourselves together and also with the inspiration and direction and certain push from our honorary Andrew Leung, he has been giving me all the support and also the, how would I say, the push. Okay, he said, don't worry, just do it, okay? So as we really put on this initiative, naturally I get a lot of great support from the community. And I think we all feel that it makes sense. And one important aspect is the entire world is changing. Whatever it's doing well in the Western world, I think they've done a wonderful job in the past decades, number of decades, like the Paris Fashion Week. But then it doesn't mean that Asia, we cannot have our own way of our fashion events or fashion fest. So we need to go back to our origin to say that, okay, what are our strengths in pursuing us becoming the fashion hub? And I think many ladies and gentlemen here today has been a great contributor to us, and we are moving one step at a time, but then we are seeing ourselves then moving into that direction.
And talking of those strengths, one of the things that struck me yesterday at Fashion in Style was the sustainability angle that was being taken. Some really interesting innovation being showcased there. And I get a sense that sustainability is an important part of the agenda, an important part of the differentiation of Hong Kong. Can you just talk about that for a minute?
Definitely. I would say we started as a manufacturing hub, and our customers a lot of time will try to push us to say that, okay, you need to do something with green. How do you save water? How do you come up with certain product with less pollution? So all these sustainability-related elements has always been in our blood as we move on to our production in the past couple of decades. I think that has been one area that we've been doing quite well. Number two, I think in general, Hong Kong people, we are quite well, especially the business people, we are quite aware of sustainability, and I do see a lot of good factories or manufacturers, they have that kind of ambition to chair, to lead. For example, I've got a good friend who makes outdoor jackets, okay, selling to European clients. I still remember 3 years ago, he said, I want to come up with one piece of jacket that is 100% recyclable, okay, including the zipper, everything. And then last year I asked him, he said, yeah, I did it.
It's hard to do that, right?
Okay, so it's, we have the ambition and we feel that we have the responsibility. And also I would say it's the community and the support of the Hong Kong government. NISA is there, right? So again, same story all the time, redress. Redress has been here for 15 years? More. 2007 till now, okay? They've been championing redress award, promoting sustainability designs. And we are featuring all the designers. I think it's been very successful, and Hong Kong government has been giving great support. And at the community, we are giving more and more support to them. And one question that they asked me on this kind of fire chat at that time, a couple months ago, is that, why Hong Kong? Okay, asked me. And then I asked them, I said, why are you choosing Hong Kong? Okay, because the founder, Christina Dean, he's from UK. Okay, we have a lot of great elements from manufacturing, from culture, from people, from government support. We have that commitment, we have that knowledge, we have that advantage.
It's very compelling, and certainly based on what I saw yesterday, very successful. I'm interested, you mentioned as part of the sort of mission for the Hong Kong Fashion Council, international partnerships. One of the reasons I was so delighted to be here is, of course, there's tremendous opportunity here. But I wonder, what reception are you getting from sort of those international partnerships? I assume you're getting a very warm reception from when you reach out to people and talk about the opportunity. But you tell me, is that how it is?
It depends on the timing you ask me. Okay, if you asked me a year ago at this time, I did reach out to some of the international community. They would be very polite to say, good to know. Yes, keep me posted, because we have done nothing yet at that time. We have a lot of great events, but we are not able to put together and to have a proper marketing to the international community. So their reaction is really lack of understanding of what we do. But then 1 year later, so now, I did put together a summary of what happened with the Hong Kong Fashion Fest in terms of event highlights, in terms of summary of all the statistics, like what Victor just said. We have 160,000 visitors times, and then we have PR value, so on and so forth. So we're able to demonstrate to the international partners about what we have done, the quality, the level, and also the quantitative KPIs. All these indicators to show that, okay, what we do is really international level with high exposure and with almost like a third-party report cards to say that, okay, this is what we've done within, like, say, 6 to 12 months of time with the government support. So all these things showcased our execution ability, our teamwork, and our community, what we could have done. And after that, our international partners like Milan and Paris, they show indication to us that they want to be with us. They want to be part of it. And Victor, I think yesterday already previewed that Milan side would want to be present for our Hong Kong Fashion Fest this year. So this is a very good start.
Good progress indeed. Final question from me, if I may. Time has gone so quickly. But I'm just interested in what's on the agenda going forward for the Hong Kong Fashion Council. What are you focused on in the next year, 2 years?
There are a few areas of interest to me. It depends on how, because I have a couple of directions. It depends on how I can make progress. Sometimes I may bump into certain difficulty, I may slow things down, but then various different aspects. Number one, for Hong Kong to be very valuable, the chief executive did say, we are the super connector, super value adder. So how do we add value in Hong Kong? Our ability to create partnership with international community, all those fashion weeks, all those designers associations, that's very important. At the same time, I need to form all the partnership with mainland China, with Southeast Asia. So how do we able to create this partnership and to gather them to be in Hong Kong, to showcase Hong Kong to be a hub? So that will be a very important step that I want to build. Number two, how do we entice all the designers, the talented people to come to Hong Kong? And as they come to Hong Kong, they are Hong Kong designers, okay? We serve, we help them, we serve them. And one example that I illustrated a couple of times was we have a Cambodian designer, came to Fashion Fest last year, participated in a fashion show, nice show that she did, and she immediately got orders, okay? I think 1 or 2 months later, she said, I decided to move to Hong Kong, all right? So this is one example of we are able to attract ASEAN designers just for that. Come to Hong Kong, set up companies. So I would expect that we will be able to bring in, attract, I would not even say bring, attract more and more designers from around the world, especially mainland China and ASEAN, to be in Hong Kong. And we very much welcome, for example, like last night when we say designers from UK or Europe, we're very much welcome. When they come to Hong Kong, they are Hong Kong designers. We welcome them. So that's the second part. The third part is how do we bring up more awareness into the international community? Because a lot of times, I would say, a lot of people forgot about Hong Kong when it comes to fashion. So how can we remind them that when you come to Asia, stop by Hong Kong first as a hub. You can go other places, but come to Hong Kong. So awareness we would have brought up. Lastly, it's how do we generate more business? Especially I think all of them, because we are business people. So as we are doing all these promotions, how do we come up with the new business model in terms of supporting all the designers, brands to do business? How do we work with retailers, multi-brand companies? How do we work with a new channel? For example, e-commerce, cross-border e-commerce. We got to leverage our strength, our advantage, because we are backed by China. China is very strong with social media and e-commerce. So can we find a way to do it? To be honest, I don't know how to do it yet, but then what I know is we should leverage that direction. So these are a couple of things that I think we want to make progress.
Sunny, thank you so much. That was absolutely fascinating. So great to hear both about what you've achieved with the Hong Kong Fashion Council and where it's going from here. And it's an exciting journey, and I'm sure it's going to be a successful one. So thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking Sunny Tao.
Thank you, everyone. And I will say one last word. It's we, because we cannot do it without all of you. And I think we are here to make a difference, and we count on all of you with the support, and I'm sure we will make it happen. Thank you all.